All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I think to be in the evening, it would need to be like very east in Europe, or I guess in Asia, it's evening. Hey guys, welcome. What's weird is the YouTube chat is, I could see it, but it's not updating on my OBS or on my Streamlabs. I'm just gonna give it like 1 or 2 minutes. Once I see people start popping in, we'll get this thing going. But yeah, I think it takes a while for people to get here. You know, you see the stream go live, maybe you get a notification, and then it takes a minute to pop in. So I'm excited for this though. This is by far exceeded my expectations. So like I could show you guys, hang on, give me a minute, like 10 seconds. All right, you can see that. Cool. So you can see like my first game jam, 9 joined, 2 submissions. Both people won because there was like 5 prizes and only 2 people submitted something. The one we did last October, the scary one that scared the hell out of me, 26 joined, 7 submissions. And I was like, all right, let's if we keep on this track, we like almost tripled last time. So there should be like, you know, if we were to keep that, I was thinking like maybe 50, 60 people. Maybe like 10 to 15 games. We have almost 100 joined. This is crazy. So for those of you that don't know who I am, because I don't think there's 100 people that... I mean, my Discord community has like 400 something people in it, right? But of those, I think a lot of them are just like hobbyists and people that are lurking. Like more just like watching the tutorials, maybe not ready to like jump into a game jam yet. Although my argument would be you're always ready to jump into a game jam. Even if today is day 1 on your game development journey, do it. It's fun. They're a lot of fun. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's really cool to see this thing doing so well. So my point being, like, game jams are a lot of fun. I did a game jam after like 2 months of learning game dev, and I tend to be a little bit more like sure of myself when I shouldn't be, and I was not ready. I was ready in the fact that like I think it was a good experience for me because it showed me the gaps in my skill set. It showed me like, oh, I still have a lot to learn because this game jam had like requirements that there was no way. I had like no tools in my toolbox to fulfill the requirements, right? Yeah. I'm excited for this. No, the theme has not been revealed. We'll do it. We're just starting. I'm giving people a few minutes to pop in just to make it fair. But I'm going to start going through my little speech. So bear with me. If you have a question or like something comes up and you're like interested by something, use the chat. It's a cool way to communicate. You can also join the Discord, and then my social medias are spiraling through, but it's pretty much Jim Douglas on most platforms. I'm not on TikTok, but other than that, I'm on pretty much every platform as Jim Douglas. So, all right, let's talk about this server and what this is. So for those of you that are maybe found the Game Jam through itch, don't really know anything about me, I started this YouTube channel about 3 years ago, And really what it was when I started learning game dev, I noticed that there wasn't any like good free material for like learning from zero. It's like, here's how to build a health system, or here's how to build a leveling system, or here's how to build an inventory, but there was nothing to like tie it all together, right? So I was constantly just like watching one tutorial after another without really understanding what I was like doing, right? It was kind of just like parroting whatever they did. And then if something broke, it was like super frustrating to debug, right? It was like, if I didn't follow exactly the way they did it, or in some cases, even if I did, I would just be like totally screwed, right? So I started like reading the documentation. I found a mentor. I did like all the things to like try to like really understand game dev, like Unreal Engine, Unity. And then from that, I was like, all right, so when I started, there was definitely a gap there and it was frustrating. So what if I made a channel that like provided what I wished I could have had when I started learning game dev? So I started JimJam Studios. It is like a game studio. I'm in my office, like the headquarters, if you will, right now. And basically what this is about is I want to create opportunities for people to learn together, for people to find mentors. I think mentorship is a huge part of success. You're basically finding someone that has already made the mistakes and they can tell you how to avoid them, or they can like speed run your journey through learning something. I think a lot of people tend to be like, oh, I'll figure it out myself. And then it takes you like 2 or 3 times as long, that if you just had someone that like would guide you along and be like, hey, watch this tutorial, or let's look at your code and I can help you find like maybe some places where it could improve, right? So I think everyone should have a mentor. I have like 3 right now that I use for various things. A lot of them are like more business related because I'm trying to get my software development business going, but telling me like how to run a business, not like an idiot. And then the third pillar, learning, mentoring, and community. So we do a lot of community things. This game jam is one of those community things, to bring the community together, to help people find ways to work together. We released a game as a Discord server last summer called Run Veggies. If you haven't seen it, it's on Steam as Run Veggies. Hugely successful, really awesome team of people that we got to work with over the course of 6 months. And I think everyone is pretty proud of what we made in that 6 months. If you consider we were 100% remote, asynchronous, like volunteers that literally no one got paid a penny for it. I'm very proud of what the community put together. And we're going to be doing that again next summer. So if that sounds cool to you, join the Discord. I put a lot of information out through there about how you can join these like community projects, basically. So the YouTube recently hit 4,000 subs. It's still growing. As of last night when I made these slides, it was 4321, which I thought was cool. So I was just like, I'm not going to update it because 4321, right? Countdown. Start the game jam. What this YouTube channel does. So if you're looking for like how to do one thing, I do have a few of those videos, but like mostly it's like long form courses, right? So it's going to start from zero and it's going to go all the way through learning something to build out that knowledge. Like, this is what I wish I would have had when I started learning game dev. So I have 4 courses. The 4th one is 3D modeling. It's like half finished right now. The biggest one is game development basics. This is how most people find my channel, is through that course. So if you're learning game dev, or you want to learn game dev, or you want to learn Unreal Engine, I recommend it. Mostly Unreal Engine. I was going to do a Unity course, but it was like right during the Unity kerfuffle last 2 summers ago, maybe. People were like, no, I don't want to learn Unity. So yeah. Run Veggies was awesome. I really loved it. So we hit 4,000 subs. So I was like, let's do another game jam to celebrate that. And then, bring some more awareness to what we're doing as a community. I do also offer some paid services as well. I can make this bigger, maybe move my head out of the way. I'll just do this. If you're interested in having a mentor, I do offer paid mentoring. If you don't have the money for that, I can do some free sessions every now and then, or just like talk to me in DMs and we can work through some problems. And there are some other people in the server that would like work as a mentor. What I actually found is I was doing free mentoring and a lot of people were just like, not to be rude, but wasting my time. So I made it a paid service just to make sure that I weed out people that aren't taking it seriously. And it also helps the studio, right? So all the money that I make off of these services helps the studio grow, helps us do more things as a community. I also do game development consulting. So if you're looking for someone to help with a portion of your project, you can check out that as well. These are things that help me keep the lights on, things that help me not have to have a day job where I have to go to the office from 9 to 5. And a lot of the money that I make from these services goes right back into the community. So if you're looking for some of these services, hit me up. You can also DM me in Discord anytime, and we can talk about what you need and maybe how I could help. So that's my spiel about JimDouble Studios. Let's actually talk about the Game Jam, which is probably why most people are watching this right now. So Winter Game Jam, it's going to be 3 weeks. If you see anywhere that it says the 21st, it's not. It's the 28th. I extended it by a week because I was actually considering that maybe people in college had finals, and the 21st may have been too short of a time frame if you're tackling all the other stuff, especially if you take the life admin of the holidays into consideration. So it's going to be 3 weeks. We'll end right before the new year, and then after the new year, we're going to announce the winners. We have 3 judges this time. Myself, Geared, who's been a huge part of the community pretty much since day one. He's my right-hand man in a lot of ways, really helping the community grow. He's the only other mod in the community. He was a huge part of Run Veggies, keeping us on track with production help. So he'll be helping again as a judge on this one. He won the first Game Jam. Even though there was only 2 submissions, his game was actually pretty cool. So I do feel like he totally deserved that. But again, Geared is a huge part of the community, so he'll be helping as a judge. And then Andrew, who, if you played Run Veggies or you look it up, he was the lead of the art team. He did a lot of the 3D modeling and helping the other 3D modelers as a mentor and as a leader. And he also won the last Game Jam. With his game Revixit, I think is how you would say it. And so if you haven't checked that game out, it's actually pretty amazing. I actually, no joke, got emotional when I played it just because, I don't know, it hit something in me. It's actually worth a playthrough, and it only will take you 5 to 10 minutes. So go check out Andrew's page. You can look at my last Game Jam and find his game on there. So he'll be helping as the 3rd judge this time, and he also helped by providing some assets for the Game Jam. All right. So Game Jam rules, pretty much every Game Jam has the same rules for the most part. You got to submit your game within the timeline. That one's probably pretty obvious. What's the point of a Game Jam if you could just take forever in your game? You do need to have a valid license for any asset that you use in the game. This does include fonts. So beware if you're using free fonts in the internet. You need to make sure that they are actually not that you have a commercial license for them or whatever, right? You can use assets you already had, just the game itself. I don't want people using a game that they had already been developing for 6 months. And we will be able to tell. It's pretty easy to tell when something's made in 3 weeks. Teams are limited to 3 participants. If people have questions about this, definitely hit me up in the Discord. You can DM me about this. What I want to do is make sure that people don't have 10-person teams. Honestly, you're making it harder on yourself. In 3 weeks, you'll spend 3 weeks just trying to get the team all on the same page. I think 3 participants is a good way to round out your trifecta of skills, basically. And if you don't have a team and you need a team, you can use the Discord to find a team. If you I actually would really encourage people to use a team for this. And just to be clear, when we get to the prizes, if you do use a team, it's not I'll make it equitable for you to use a team, basically, because I actually want people to use teams. Game jams are more fun when you don't do them by yourself. So if you use a team of 3, I'm actually going to increase the prize for that. So everyone gets a piece, like to make it like more incentive to use a team, right? And also you're going to make a better game. It's going to be a better experience. It's going to be better practice for when you go on to use make a full game, right? I'm going to ask like, oh my God, AI is everywhere, right? I'm really going to ask that people don't use AI as much as possible. If you're using it to like help you with some things, that's totally cool. Like I understand we're all like kind of using AI right now to help us like keep our brains on track, maybe. I don't know. The thing is, like, I can't really police this. I'm not going to really be able to tell if you use AI. So just like be a good person. This is just to make it fair. Like you could use Claude Code and you can program an entire game in like 2 days, but like that's not really fair, right? So just try to like actually make the game yourself with your team. Again, I can't really tell if you did. I mean, I kind of can, but like just be a good person, right? It's supposed to be fun. Nothing not safe for work. If you would not play this game at work unless you like work in an SFW place, like let's keep these games like PG-13 at most, even like PG-13. Let's not like toe the line of R, right? I've learned like by letting my children watch PG-13 movies, there's like a spectrum of like movies that are barely PG-13 and movies that are like towing the line of rated R. So just like keep it something that you would like let a kid play, right? I guess that's not a good example either because kids are playing GTA. Anyway, here's some examples. If I think something is like towing the line of this, I might just disqualify it. So just don't toe the line, right? It's fair. Cool. All right, so those are the rules. Here's how we're going to judge the winners. So it is a competition. Part of the fun is competing for prizes and competing for glory. Here's how we're going to calculate how people win. So the community, I think it's the next slide, did make some assets to be used in the Game Jam. They're pretty broad. So I think everyone should be able to find at least one or two things that they use. We're going to, you get one F-bomb, use it carefully. Yeah. Funny thing, like I was in the Navy, so profanity like seriously does not offend me. Matter of fact, most of the time I have to like remind myself not to swear around people because it just like it's part of my language. Like even right now, I'm like, don't swear, right? But yeah. So use of the Game Jam assets. We had some community members make assets for this Game Jam. The goal is to try to use those, use them well, use them creatively. There's some cool stuff in there, and it was really like awesome of the community to come together and like provide these assets. So I wanted to make that part of the criteria. The last 2 Game Jams I did, you had to use like the Unreal Engine free for the month assets. But since they transitioned to Fab, and also I don't want people to feel like they have to use Unreal Engine, I thought it would be better if the community made those assets. Anyway, use the assets in your game. It's 25% of the criteria. You don't have to use them, but if you don't, you're going to miss out on these points, right? Implementation of the theme. The game should be on theme, and this is mostly to prevent people from cheating and making a game ahead of time and then just submitting it for the Game Jam. So it's 25% of your score. I guess you could technically take a template and like rework it to use the theme. But the point is like use the assets, use the theme. That's what makes it interesting and makes the Game Jam more fun. Gameplay mechanics. This is basically like, did you do something unique? Did you do something fun? Do the mechanics work well? Do they have bugs, or like are they working the way they intended to? So focusing on making the game playable, making sure you have a game loop, things like that. Gameplay mechanics, right? 25% immersion. This is because I think far too many people think of sound as like an afterthought. Sound is a huge part of games. Sound design is really important. So your graphics, your UI, your sound, all that stuff being like brought in together and really immersing the player is going to give you 25% as well. This doesn't necessarily mean the graphics need to be like good graphics. They should just be coherent. Like of the 5 people that submitted Game Jam assets, they're not like all in the same style of art. So if you have like one that's like hyper realistic with some, low poly stuff, it's going to stick out. So don't do that, basically. Cool. All right. And then here's the prizes. So the best overall game, meaning the one that scores the most in all of these categories combined, gets a $50 gift card. As I said, if you're using a team of 3, 50 doesn't really split 3 ways well. So what I'll do is make this like split in a way that makes sense for 3 people to split, maybe like $60 or $75, right? The prize is fun and it should be something that you like want to get, but like you should also just like doing game jams and want to win and have fun. So this is just to provide some incentive. And then there's, of the 4 categories, the best one in each of those categories also gets a $25 gift card. This is not to be combined with the top one. Like you can't win 2 prizes, right? So it's like the best overall game wins one, and then the best from each of the other categories wins a $25 gift card. So $150 in prizes. But again, if you have a team and you have like 2 or 3 people, I will make this more worth your while. So don't feel like, oh, I want that $50 for myself. Like, honestly, that's kind of a crappy thing to do anyway. But like, if you talk to me, just send me a DM and say, hey, we had 3 people. If you win, obviously. We had 3 people. Can we make this like split better, right? So there's 2 caveats. They're kind of small. Let me make it bigger. You got to be 18 to win a prize. Sorry, kids. I think there's like some legal hurdles of giving prizes to minors, so I'm not going to do it. Again, I can't really I don't have a way to verify that you're 18. So everyone that submits a game should be 18. Wink. What's this thing's in the way? All right. Also, if you live in a country where I can't send you a gift card, I'm sorry. This is not my fault. This is Steam. So if like I go to send you the gift card and Steam's like, no, you can't send a gift card to that country, you can't get the gift card. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. But I'm telling you now, even if I was 18, I wouldn't want the money. Oh, God. All right. Yeah, you could still win the game. You could still win the game jam if you're 18, if you're under 18. I just can't send you the prize legally. But I also, wink, don't have a way to verify that you're 18. So if you win, you're going to get the prize unless you tell me that you're under 18. All right. Last thing before we talk about the theme, I want to thank the community members that provided assets for this game jam. I randomized them here, so not to like, this isn't like an order of awesomeness. This is like a random order that I used an algorithm to pop out. So Soren, a huge part of the Run Veggies game. He did all of the sound design. He made a really amazing soundtrack for the game. You can find it on his Bandcamp page. Super talented musician. He also is now learning 3D modeling, and he's surprised good at that too. So he provided some assets. Night of Game Devilry, who is also Andrew, one of the judges, he provided some really cool stuff like this minor pack that's a lot of fun. Actually, I think I have these. Let me see if I could just open it up. FLMR, he also contributed to the last game jam, and he made a really fun game that scared the hell out of me. I think that was one of the only times on stream that I actually like straight up swore like really badly. So he made some cool stuff that he contributed to the game jam to be used. Wolfie, who's been a big part of the community for a while, very active person, really great guy to talk to. He submitted some cool stuff. And then Benjamin Benalju, I don't know how to pronounce that. He also gave a really cool pack. Benjamin was also part of the Run Veggies team. He made the tomato guy and a lot of other stuff as well. So thank you to all these people. Unreal Engine, stop being weird. Thank you to all these participants, all these contributors of providing time to make these assets, to make this game jam more fun and interesting. Check out the assets. They're all on the itch.io page.